Vikings had one of the worst career plans in human history. Step 1. Get in a wooden boat. Step 2. Sail across freezing water and absolutely no guarantee the ocean is in a good mood. Step 3. Arrive somewhere full of strangers who definitely did not invite you. That was the Viking dream, which is insane. Because today, if Google Maps says there is traffic, most humans emotionally shut down. Vikings looked at the North Sea and thought, yeah. And that is why people say Vikings were built different. Not because they were magical beard monsters, they were still humans. They got scared. Some Viking definitely woke up one morning, looked outside and thought, I cannot believe the goat escaped again. But they lived in a world where toughness was not a lifestyle brand. It was the entry fee. Because Scandinavia was not handing out comfort. It was cold, it was rough, and when a place is that hard, people start respecting the humans who can handle it. The guy who can sail farther, the guy who stands in a storm with his beard sideways and still tries to look calm. That guy becomes important. Because a Viking was not just trying to survive. He was trying to be seen surviving. That is a very human disease. Fearless people on small boats in storms are not brave. They are missing important software. Real bravery means the fear is there. It is just being forced into the corner by pride. Picture a Viking ship in a storm. The sky is dark. The waves are huge. The boat drops so hard everyone's soul briefly leaves their body. One guy loses an oar. Another guy is trying not to throw up. A third guy is pretending to be calm, but his face has resigned. And in the middle of all this, some leader is gripping a rope, soaked, freezing, saying, "This is fine." No, it is not. Your beard is horizontal. History is often just stupidity that survived long enough for people to call it bravery. But to be fair, Vikings had reasons to take risks. Risk could change your life. A successful voyage could bring wealth. It could bring a story. And for humans, a good story is dangerous. Because once people believe their life can become a story, they start making different choices. They do not just walk into a room, they enter. And we all know Viking culture was full of stories. Stories about gods, heroes, monsters, men with names that sound like warning labels. Eric Bloodaxe, Ivar the Boneless. These guys sound like boss fights. Imagine trying to build a reputation today with a name like Steve Mild Allergy. No one is following Steve Mild Allergy into battle. But Viking names had weight. Stories had weight. What people said about you mattered. So if you were young, ambitious, and stuck in a hard place with not enough opportunity, a voyage was not just travel, it was a chance to become someone. That is the key. Not just survive, obviously. We hate feeling invisible. We hate being treated like background furniture in our own village. So when a boat offered danger and possibility at the same time, some people took the deal. A terrible deal, but a tempting one. And that is still how humans work. We call something risky if we are scared of it. We call it adventure if we want it to sound cool. Same thing, different marketing. That is the Viking trick. A freezing sea voyage where you might die? Bad. An epic journey to earn wealth and glory? Much better. The danger did not change. The story did. And humans will suffer a lot for the right story. But we should not turn Vikings into heroes just because they look cool in drawings. They were impressive, yes. They were also brutal. Raids caused real suffering. People were killed. Communities were attacked. People were enslaved. Things were taken by force. This was not just a bunch of adventurous guys doing extreme networking. Humans can be skilled and dangerous at the same time. That is the uncomfortable truth. Vikings just make that obvious because the contrast is so big. That is a powerful fantasy, especially now. Because most modern battles are humiliatingly boring. You do not get to sail into the unknown. You get an email that starts with, "Just following up." You do not come home with silver and stories. You come home with groceries, one missing sock, and a receipt that feels financially aggressive. You do not command a long ship. you refresh a tracking number. So, of course, Vikings look appealing. They feel like the opposite of modern life, but that fantasy hides the cost. Being built different usually means life is trying to break you. Vikings were not intense because everything was awesome. They were intense because their world was hard, and their culture turned that hardship into identity. A soft world makes soft skills valuable. A hard world makes hard skills valuable. If your world rewards attention, people chase attention. And if your world rewards courage, risk, reputation, and coming home with proof that you mattered, people start looking very Viking very quickly. That is the bigger point. Humans become what the world keeps rewarding. Put us in offices, and we become office people. We learn meetings, emails, small talk, pretending the spreadsheet is urgent. Put us in a cold coastal world where ships can bring wealth, danger, status, and stories. And they become sailors, traders, raiders. That is why Vikings were built different. Not because they were born with fearless iron brains. They were built by cold, by water, by scarcity, by ships, and by that tiny, embarrassing voice every human has, whispering, "Make them respect you." That voice is old, older than every motivational quote ever posted by a guy wearing sunglasses in his car. Vikings heard that voice and built longships. We hear it and check if our post got likes. So next time you see a Viking in a movie, standing on a cliff, hair blowing, axe in hand, looking like he was carved out of weather, remember, he was still human.